For 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I want to raise a point of order.
Yes, ma'am.
But I don't want the clock to be eating my time.
I'm sorry. Yes,
I would like for the witness to be sworn in before I ask my questions.
the chair doesn't see a need for that. You may ask your question. Your time can start the gentlewoman's time over at 5 minutes.
Secretary Bessent, you were on CNBC earlier this week making claims saying we are very close and maybe we will see some deals this week.
The goal is twofold. The goal is to open the foreign markets and then bring back manufacturing to the U.S. And we're thinking about that in two ways. One is there's strategic industries. So during COVID, we saw that there were many strategic industries where the U.S. was woefully deficient, whether it was medicine supply chains, in chips, in steel, that many of the overseas suppliers were just unreliable partners. So we can't have that happen again. And then on the other side, we want to bring back manufacturing and rebalance the economy.
You're heavily involved here. You have said they need to de-escalate and start that process for us to get going on trade talks. Have they made any effort at this point?
I think we could see substantial progress in the coming weeks. We'll see. That I think it's Stein's law, that which is not sustainable doesn't continue. So 145%, 125% tariff levels are the equivalent of an embargo.
Yep.
And we're reading every day what's happening with factories in China. And from an academic point of view, I can tell you that the history of trade battles, we are the deficit country. The surplus country always has the most to lose.
So they need to make more gestures. What is it that you're looking for, and is that happening? Is there a negotiation about the negotiation?
Yeah, we'll see over the coming weeks, and we'll see what President Trump wants to accept.
Right. I mean, have they offered anything on, for instance, precursor ingredients?
Only what they have said publicly. So, and I can tell you
On tariff. So tell us, tell the American people, tell small businesses and consumers, tell retirees, specifically, which countries are you close to striking deals with?
I'm sorry, Congresswoman, but...
So Gunther Eagleman, he put this up and he says, this is the absolute stupidity that Trump's cabinet has to deal with. This New York Democrat can barely speak English, has to be fed questions to ask by her staffer, and tries to imply that she deserves to know critical tariff negotiation details. Along with Scott Bessent, I myself couldn't help but to laugh. And I really hope that none of you are this fucking stupid to think that on national TV that President Trump, Scott Bessent, or anybody within his organization and his administrative cabinet would literally say the quiet part out loud and give away their strongest bargaining chips by divulging this information beforehand.
That would not benefit the United States.
No. I'm asking you a question based on the statement that you made on CNBC.
And I am telling you that it would be detrimental to the interest of the United States for me to answer that question.
Why would that be detrimental?
Because as the negotiations may still be in process as we speak, as we are not at the end of the week yet, I am sure that you through your question, would not want to compromise the U.S. negotiations.
Reclaiming my time.
Either the Democrats are too dumb to realize how negotiations work, or all they care to do is undermine the negotiations so that they don't work. Either way, in the end, they don't work. So why? Why are they like this?
Secretary Bessent, the president goes into a press conference and claims that there are negotiations going on.
Just to finish, we also have a situation, because everyone says, when are you going to sign deals? We don't have to sign deals. We could sign 25 deals right now, Howard, if we wanted. We don't have to sign deals. They have to sign deals with us. They want a piece of our market. We don't want a piece of their market. We don't care about their market. They want a piece of our market. So we can just sit down, and I'll do this at some point over the next 2 weeks, and I'll sit with Howard and Scott and with our great vice president, who has done a really good job. We have some good news to report on a lot of fronts, but JD will be there, and Marco, and we're going to sit down and we're going to put very fair numbers down, and we're going to say, here's what this country, what we want, and congratulations, we have a deal. And they'll either say, great, and they'll start shopping, or they'll say, not good, we're not going to do it. And I said, that's okay, you don't have to shop. Now, we may think, well, they have a right, that maybe we were a little bit wrong, so we'll adjust it. And then you people will say, oh, it's so chaotic. No, we're flexible. But we'll sit down, and we'll, at some point, in some cases, we'll sign some deals. It's much less important than what I'm talking about. For the most part, we're just going to put down a number and say, this is what you're going to pay to shop. And it's going to be a very fair number. It'll be a low number. We're not looking to hurt countries. We want to help countries. We want to be friendly with countries. But you keep writing about deals. When are we going to sign? When? It's very simple. We're going to say, in some cases, we want you to open up your country. In some cases, we want you to drop your tariffs. I mean, India, as an example, has one of the highest tariffs in the world. We're not going to put up with that. And they've agreed already to drop it. They'll drop it to nothing. They've already agreed. They would have never done that for anybody else but me. So we're going to put down some numbers, and we're going to say our country is open for business. And they're going to come in, and they're going to pay for the privilege of being able to shop in the United States of America. It's very simple. It's very simple. So I wish they'd keep, stop asking, how many deals are you signing this week? Because one day we'll come and we'll give you 100 deals. And they don't have to sign. All they have to do is say, oh, we'll start sending our ships right now to pick up whatever we want or to bring whatever we want. It's very, very simple. And I think my people haven't made it clear. We will sign some deals. But much bigger than that is we're going to put down the price that people are going to have to pay to shop in the United States. Think of us as a super luxury store, a store that has the goods. You're going to come and you're going to pay a price, and we're going to give you a very good price. We're going to make very good deals, and in some cases we'll adjust. But that's where it is.
And then the next day, there's no negotiations going on. So why would you not answer my question? And that will be considered detrimental to the American people, to the American economy. I do not understand. Despite your claim...
I'm happy to say there are negotiations going on. I'm not going to reveal the details.
No filibuster. No filibuster here.
So how long do you think those negotiations will take before they are concluded?
There are numerous countries, as I have said, if you saw my CNBC interview, which you referenced, that there are 18 important trading partners, and we are moving forward at all deliberate speed with those.
Do you consider these negotiations advanced negotiations?
Some of them are quite advanced.
So you expect this deal to be more than memorandums of understanding? You expect them to be full negotiated trade deals?
I believe that they will be the agreements in principle, and then we will paper them over in the coming months. But once we reach an agreement, then I am sure that the other countries will live up to it.
Okay. In congressional testimony yesterday, you said the U.S. has not started negotiating with China on tariff reductions. Does that continue to be your position, yes or no?
As you may have read...
Yes or no, sir?
As you may have read in the press, I will be going to Switzerland, and the negotiations will begin on Saturday.
Okay, so the president told you that that will be your answer today. So can you tell who from the Trump administration is engaged in those discussions.
All right, folks, it's me, Kevin, speaking straight from the heart to all of you who bleed red, white, and blue like I do. Now, let's talk about the circus that's Washington right now. Nidia or Nadia, whatever this lady's name is, Velasquez, Democrat from New York, is just another libtard on the left's list who wants to see America put at a disadvantage and dragged several steps backwards, all at the expense of looking stupid, solely to undermine and block President Trump from delivering on the mandate we gave him. It's the same tired playbook: obstruct, impeach, and throw tantrums because they can't stand that Trump's fighting for us, the forgotten men and women of this great nation. You and I, we see through their nonsense, don't we? Right? They're terrified of a strong America, and they'll do anything to stop our president from making America great again, or at least try to. But here's the thing. I'm not just here to call out the left's lunacy, as I do regularly, daily, multiple times. I care about you, my fellow patriots, viewers, subscribers, friends, family, and I want to make sure you're set up to thrive in this crazy world, especially when the Democrats are hell-bent on making life harder for us all, unless, of course, you're not legally here. That's why I'm talking to those of you on Medicare or 64 years old, turning 65 soon. If you've got a birthday coming up, happy early birthday. And I want you guys, look, I know you're working hard and you have been your whole life. Paid your taxes, and now you deserve to keep more of your hard-earned money while getting the health care that you need. So don't let the bureaucrats and leftists mess with your future or your finances. Do yourself a favor, call Chapter for free. I'm serious, guys. Call them. 270-467-2426. It's a no-brainer. Just pick up the phone and ask them how you can save money and which Medicare plan is the best fit for you. They're not some woke company pushing an agenda. They're actually helping people save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on their Medicare and putting money back into their checks. I've read multiple reviews and testimonials from the comments that you guys have left. Trust me, this is the truth. This is where it's at, and you should call. They're about helping real Americans like you and us, get the most out of Medicare. And trust me, when I need it, I already know who I'm calling. I want you to have the tools to succeed because we're all in this fight together. Against the left, against the swamp that needs to be drained, and for our America First agenda. So call Chapter today, 270-467-2426. You can find additional information down below in the description. I'll add it into the pinned comment. And I want you guys to call Chapter, get the facts, and let's keep fighting the good fight. And let's get back to the rest of Scott Bessent and this clip I want to show you.
Which discussions?
With China.
Trade discussions?
Pardon?
I'm sorry.
Trade discussions. Yes, sir.
Well, the trade negotiations will be led by myself and Ambassador Jameson Greer,
And
USTR.
And what about Pete Navarro?
Sorry?
Peter Navarro.
He will not be joining us in Geneva.
Thank God for that. Are those negotiations considered advanced?
Pardon?
Are those negotiations considered advanced?
As I said, on Saturday we will begin, which I believe is the opposite of advance.
Secretary Bessent, as Treasury Secretary and a senior member of President Trump's economic team, has President Trump given you the authority to finalize any trade agreement with China or any other trading partner?
As President Trump has stated, he will have the final decision on any trade agreement.
So you're telling me all of these increased prices, the stock market losses, the production delays are all based on the wins of Donald Trump, that you could strike the best deal with Canada, Mexico, or even China that is completely in our favor, giving us everything the administration
Gentlewoman's
is
time has
seeking.
expired.
And if President Trump decides at any certain
Gentlewoman's
moment,
time is
for whatever reason, not to take the deal, that will be it. I yield back.
The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Lucas, who is chair of our task force on monetary policy, is recognized for 5